So this is the very scroll down and find the end of the DeusLair campaign. You should go look at the pledge levels and the models in there, and you should look at the $15 basis add-on because I think that's an incredible value. There's over 100 bases for $15, and they're pre-textured, injection molded, lots of variety because they're pulling it from the past three campaigns or the past two campaigns plus some new ones. But these super stretch goals. I wanted to say that they were focusing on bigger super stretch goals and less of them, but it actually looks like they're spaced out about the same as encounters. So, day one we got about 400,000, so we're already blowing through all this stuff. But this is going to be a huge Kraken. The preview had a smaller yellow miniature scale for the airship, and the comments for the live stream and in Discord, they increased the size to make it usable in a campaign with 6 people. So that's probably going to take 2 or 3 sprues all by itself. So that's a huge one. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually downsized that tree dragon because of that. So that tree dragon being on a 50 millimeter base, that's going to be smaller than their $20-$30 dragons, depending on what kind of sale you get there. That's going to be more like the size of a giant. I'm really excited about that landworm. They're calling it a fireworm. And you can see they're between 100 and 200K between the super stretch goals. And then, they're, 30K between the regular stretch goals, these medium minis. So this is where the bulk of the value is. Again, I'm really excited about that basilisk. I'm going to use that more of like a rage drake because I think it's going to be big for a basilisk and not quite unique. I'm a little disappointed at that kobold. Looks very similar to the Woodhaven kobold. Everybody was asking for another gelatinous cube, even though they had Jerry the Jelly. The first part of the weapons pack, you can see that actually says weapons pack 4, so I guess they're going to count down. It sounded like they were going to put all 4 or 5 weapons packs on one sprue. So they have a paladin one, a ranged one, like a warrior one, and then like a magic, like books and stuff one. But, those are pretty cool. So, again, they're like, 30 to 50K between, but they also have daily unlocks. So my guess is they're probably actually going to shift, depending on how much unlocks a day, so that the daily unlocks take up a slot. Probably like, if you get like 2 daily unlocks before they get 50K, then there's probably going to be a bigger jump between the next one. But so this is the DeusLair kick stretch goals. The super stretch goal, the 1 per backer stretch goals are an owl bear. Let's go way back up to the top. So the 1 per backer stuff is going to be the early bird owl bear, the community stretch goal, kobolds and goblin, and the bulb holder. So these are all, medium large. These are small. This is like half a sprue worth of 1 per backer stuff. So where in encounters, so you'll have to pay attention to the little 1 per backer, like on this Highlander hut, and the watchtower. You'll have to pay attention to the little 1 per backer thing, the swamp hut. So, they started out with some pretty big, the huts packs, and then again, you can see, this is in dollars instead of euros, which is why the numbers are weird, but you can see about every 20K, there's a new, like, medium-sized stretch goal, 10K to 20K here. And then these big ones are the, then they started making the super stretch goals bigger, right? So again, you can see there's about 5 to 7 regular stretch goals in between every super stretch goal. So that's actually in line with what DeusLair's doing. So again, this was, you got 3 boxes of stretch goals in Woodhaven, and then you got like Pepe the Giant and the Ghost Dragon and the Phoenix, which were all their own big model kits. And then in Encounters, you got, all these buildings and the Young Dragon and the Giant, and the Tarosk was a 1 per backer. 2. So you got all these buildings, and the Dragon and the Giant and the Spirit Tree and stuff was all the 1 per backer. So the super stretch goals took up 2 boxes. The regular stretch goals took up 1 box. Where before this so I expect that this will be more similar, where the regular stretch goals are probably going to take up 1 bigger box. They said they're looking at like maybe 50 to 100 regular stretch goals and maybe 30 super stretch goals. So 30 stretch goals where each one takes up a sprue, half a sprue to a sprue. Let's see if I can get down here super fast. I'm not going to be able to get that to scroll fast enough. So, figure the Kraken's going to take up a sprue, that Airship's going to take up a sprue. The other stuff they're showing there is going to take up a sprue. If they're looking at 50 things that take up half a sprue, you're looking at more sprues. You're looking at 10 sprues for stretch goals and 30 sprues for, 30 sprues for super stretch goals. So we'll have to see how that works out. That might be one reason to get 2 smaller pledges instead of 1 big pledge. It's a little expensive. The pledge. Oh, here's the bases. Check out these bases, right? You get 100 medium bases, pre-textured. The DNL3 are going to be like the stone, carpet, wood, interior buildings, sewers. The DNL4 are going to be grass, swamp, mud, water. And the DNL5 are going to be all new. So you're getting mostly new ones. You're getting half new ones, half old ones. But there's going to be a really big variety there for the base set. So that's like, man, I'd rather paint my bases than glue on junk to, base up a plain black one. I think that's my favorite product, honestly. You can already see the beholder's going to be $15. That's probably overpriced. That's not going to be a whole sprue. That's going to be like smaller than a WizKids beholder, I think. This purple worm's worth the $25 to get an add-on. Okay, so they're €60 for if you add on an expansion pack, but if it's in a bundle, it's valued at about $25. These big demons, those are going to be hot items. The purple worm's going to be hot items. They got like some beetle scarab folk people. So that's going to be interesting to compare those to the Bone 6. Demons, pirates, centaurs, animal things. I'm excited for this young fireworm. Unfortunately, other than that, this is my least favorite. I'm not a big fan of some of these sea creatures, like this jelly maid. I like these rasher golems, right? This little guy driving a wood golem, and that was in the preview pack. It was like 3 of those on the back of one of those. That might have been in the core set. So like, I'm interested in these rasher guys, these little tiny goblin-y things. So here's the big rasher golem. This was in the preview box, so this is what we already have. And you can see there's like 4 guys riding the back of that thing. Let's see, here's the core. This is the core set. We're still trying to figure out what these like winged moth monsters are here. Yeah. So where's the pledge levels? So this is what's included in the core set, and then I think I passed up the pledge levels. Here we go. Okay, so they have an entry level where you get just the core set. They swapped out. They were doing core set plus books. They said a lot of people don't want the books because it's only 5e, so just give us another add-on. So the book is an option for an add-on. So this is supposed to be core set plus books, but now it's core set plus one of the add-ons. But you only get regular stretch goals, not the super stretch goals. Okay. Then this is the core set plus one thing, plus both regular and super stretch goals. So you can see the difference there. They're valuing the super stretch goals at $50-$60. So then here's 2 more add-ons for another, $40. So this one's the one that's a little bit out of spec. It's maybe a little bit too much. So if you compare the Adept to the Alkalite with 6 to the Game Master with 10, the add-ons are about €25. That puts the core set at about €50, and the add-ons at and the stretch goals at 70. But I think that's more like 25 and 50. I know my math's not adding up exactly there. So the difference between getting one Alkalite with 6 versus 2 Adepts with the extra double the add-on, double core set, double stretch goals. This is going to be what, $360. So it's an extra $100 for double stretch goals, double core set. That is going to be interesting. Or an Apprentice plus an Adept to get 4 add-ons versus but double core set. See, that's the thing. I don't know that I want double core set. I think all of the super stretch goals are going to be for individual purchase. But again, if the bundle's valuing them at €50 and the Kraken's 30 and the Airship's 30, just get a second set and try to sell the core set. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. I'll have to wait until the pledge manager opens and they price those out. This gets you one of everything, right? You can see they have 4 add-ons plus a book, so that gives you 5 add-ons. So this gives you a core set plus the 5 add-ons. You can double up on something, or you can get something from the last campaign. So again, you can see they have Encounters Miniatures and Encounters Props. So they split those stretch goals into 2 $60 options. So that shows you how much the value. Let's see if they have the add-on split out. That shows you what the value of those 2 are. Yeah, sorry about the scrolling. Add-ons. Yeah, here. So you can see what's included. So you have basically all the monsters from the regular stretch goals plus Ygritte. Forces of Nature is a little weird. They have the Elementals and Team the Devil and the Zombie from Woodhaven, plus Toss the Young Dragon from Encounters. So that's the bonus throw on is the dragon there and the giant here, just to make it kind of juicier. And then the encounter props. So they're throwing in the 1 per backer buildings, plus the props to get the set dressings up. And then this one, they did the tree set, which a lot of people were asking for, right? So you're getting basically the Elven set, trees, half of the swamp sets, and a spirit tree, all in just a tree set. So I would have done that instead of swamps. Instead of swamps and elves, I would have done that and gotten a double creature pack, the last campaign. So I think that's smart. I think these groupings are very smart for the way that they packed the old ones that way. Again, so you can see how much, I think stretch goals were $40, minus Ygritte, minus the dragon, and the buildings were 25 or something. So you figure you got all 3 of these packs, minus the super stretch goals. You got all 3 of the smaller stuff in these 3 packs for $40 last time. You'll be able to buy the regular stretch goals again in this one as an add-on, which they haven't promised the super stretch goals. But the way the other campaigns have worked, the super stretch goals are individual purchases. So you could buy an extra Tarosk, you can buy you could buy an extra Pepe the Giant, you could buy an extra Phoenix.